And we are back after a small hiatus from the video because we had a few technical issues. We are back with sound and vision.
Well, the police impounded the footage, so we had to, once it verified that Wayne was wearing clothes.
Apparently, mankinis can be offensive, especially after 8 o'clock at night.
And made out of cling film.
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, listener land.
What we got?
As you can see, we're all in the studio again. We've got Wayne with his grumpy face T-shirt on, and we've got Louis with his grumpy face, and my good self who is the grumpy face.
Keep on grumping.
Yeah, that's it.
We're all wearing quite dark colours today.
Yeah.
Well, we saw how fat we looked last time. Well, let's just speak it how it is.
Is that what it is? I must say, you both have lost lots of weight.
Yes, we've constantly been on treadmills.
No. The fat suit I was wearing last time, I took it off.
Yeah?
No.
I think you've left bits of it on.
Thank you.
Well, the camera does add a swollen corpse, doesn't it?
A what?
A swollen corpse.
No. It was purely by chance. I've got to admit that I was wearing black this evening. And I shall stick to that regardless.
Yeah.
So we lost.
Somebody's died again, have they?
Sorry?
Somebody's died again?
Yeah. And I want to bring him up because we spoke about it when Sean was here.
We did. I was going to fetch him up as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Mr. Buffett.
Mr. Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett died. And I've got a particular story about Mr. Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
In 79...
He was in the East Dean Club.
No. In 79, because he liked to fly.
Hold on a minute, sorry. Did you just burp down the microphone? Thinking he'd repressed it.
Not intentionally, just popped up.
Okay, it's going to be one of them nights to see. At least you got that in, all right, not the other. Yeah, in 1979, because Buffett was a bit of a pilot. He liked his planes, apparently, and he liked to fly. And he got a seaplane. You know them big seaplanes?
I think it was a
I think it was an ex-forces plane. And it's this big seaplane. And he used to pick his mates up and then skip over to islands and things like that. And that's exactly what he did. Chris Blackwell, who owned Island Records, and Bono and his wife and kids, he picked him up and he were taking them for jerk chicken in Jamaica.
Oh, right.
As you do.
As you do.
Yeah. Not just going into town for KFC.
Yeah, some people are too good for KFC, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
But the problem was, as they were coming into land, somebody had informed the local Jamaican police that there were going to be some drug trafficking on that side of the island. And when Jimmy Buffett's landing on the sea, a seaplane, the police started to fire at him. And it shot bullet holes in the plane.
With Bono on it?
With Bono and his wife and 2 kids and Chris Blackwell from Island Records.
Seems like a bit of an extreme reaction. Would that be... is that the first thing you go to, just open fire on a plane?
Don't ask questions first. Well, I suppose they were thinking, well, they might just turn around and fly back off.
Well, you're not allowed to land in Jamaica?
Well...
Not with drugs.
I didn't know they got drugs.
They thought that they'd been tipped off that this plane were coming in and it were carrying drugs. Obviously, it wasn't that plane. Well, it might have been for all we know, but it wasn't. They were shooting at him anyway.
Oh, right.
So they eventually stopped, or people were recognised as not being drug dealers, and they searched the plane. And they were very apologetic. Bono was having none of it. He hightailed it straight back to America. He was disgusted with everything that had gone on. I'd have been a bit upset, to be honest.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
You got your wife and kids with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a hell of a lot of cocaine, so you're gonna get gone, aren't you?
Yeah. You're just going for some chicken and they're shooting at you. It's a bit like going to KFC, isn't it, through Park Gate?
Must have been that bang chicken.
It's very similar. But what they were going to do is they were going to stop at the local this hotel that Chris from Island Records, Blackwell. I keep forgetting his second name. That Chris Blackwell owned from Island Records. He owned an hotel on Island, and it used to be Ian Fleming's, the bloke who wrote the 007 books.
Bond
books. And it was called What?
007.
Oh, you've been? No.
Bond Island.
It was called GoldenEye.
Land.
No. GoldenEye.
Land.
No, the hotel were called, or the hotel complex and everything there, because it weren't just a hotel, it was like a complex that were there of huts and might even been a golf course, I don't know. But it was called GoldenEye.
Did they have an
And George
on-site...
Martin used to own it at one time, I think.
George Martin?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, no, he owned... Yes, he did. I'm sure he owned it. Anyway, it don't matter.
Didn't he own boots? Some boots?
Yeah, I think he had some boots on. Yeah.
Oh.
Martins. Doc Martin.
Oh, right. I'm with you. Sorry.
Keep up. They're going to come thick and fast.
They're not.
Well, I imagine in this hotel there'd be an on-site, like, doctor, wouldn't there, though? And that'd be
Dr. Martin.
Dr. No?
Oh. I was just thinking Dr. GoldenEye. No.
Dr. GoldenEye.
You mentioned Bono there. Do you know how Bono got his name?
Was it Paul? Is that his name?
Yeah.
How we become Bono?
Haven't they got like an artist friend who nicknamed him that?
No.
Oh.
He got named Bono.
He used to eat dog biscuits.
He did.
All right.
But that's not how he got it.
Oh.
He got his name Bono, and he was named after an hearing aid store in Dublin called Bonovox.
Bonovox.
It was named after a what, sorry?
A hearing aid store. A shop in Dublin that sell hearing aids, and it were called Bonovox.
Okay.
And he didn't like it at first.
No, I was not surprised.
Until he got told that in Latin it means a good voice. And he thought, I'll have that.
Why would somebody
say? And that's why.
Hey, I'm going to call you Bono.
Bonovox.
And that's how
after
he got
Bonovox hearing aid shop.
And that's how he got his name.
It's a good job passing Woolworths, isn't it?
Yeah, they called him Woolo.
Weird.
Pick a mix.
Well,
yeah,
I'm not going to doubt it, not for 1 minute, because, you know, it's no. It's a strange one, though, isn't it? I mean, nicknames can be, but they're usually based on the name, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. When I read it, I thought, that's an odd one.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people know that. Apart from him.
Bono fans.
Probably.
Of which there's quite a few. There's at least 12.
Yeah. Not in here. Well, there's one in here, isn't there?
No, he's a very popular man. But he does polarise people, doesn't he?
Well, it's only because of all of his charity work, and, you know, people hate charities. So.
Yeah. Tax evasion, do you mean?
Yeah, I think tax evasions and putting an album on your phone when you don't ask for it, and sort of an air of self-righteousness.
Yeah, and one that you can't get rid of.
Yeah, take that aside though. It's all right.
Yeah. It's all right.
There was once this, so a few years back, maybe like 2018 or 19, he was knocked off his bike and he broke his arm in Central Park.
I remember
Somebody
that.
stepped in front of him and he broke his arm. And they made sort of light of it. And for part of some sort of charitable fund, like I think it's like Red Fund, I think it's got some sort of co-foundership of something called Red. You could enter a competition to win like an afternoon riding a bike with Bono in Central Park. And I was in an office environment at the time. I was like, well, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? And they're like, no, I won't want to. You couldn't make me ride a bike with Bono. These were women, by the way, very deep voices. You couldn't make me ride a bike with Bono. And I'm
from Barnsley.
I beg to differ, because if you'd won a bike ride with Bono, you'd go. You would go. You would.
Yeah, I think you would. Yeah.
Depends what day.
On a tandem, on a Tuesday, with Bono.
No, but you would, wouldn't you?
You would.
All right, I'll pose the same question, because a very similar thing happened to another person.
I won't waste a day's holiday for that.
You wouldn't go on a bike ride with Bono?
Not for 1 week, no.
What about the other fella? I do a very similar incident. I won't go for a bike ride with him.
Who?
Simon Cowell.
Did he fall off his bike?
He did the same thing, yeah.
No.
Well, I'm not bothered about Simon Cowell.
No, but I'm putting the question, would you go for a bike ride with him? Because he did a similar thing.
No.
No, I wouldn't.
No, I won't.
I would go with Bono.
Only for the reason that I don't think I'd be able to restrain myself from asking about his face. What happened there, Simon?
Yeah.
Fell off his bike.
It looks like a poor man's waxwork.
I'd have to ask him about his early career and how he got into being, what he did with music business when he was just working out of a broom cupboard, but at least I've got more to ask Bono, I think,
Yeah, it's not that bad.
about his musical
What,
career.
what was the actual figure?
Sorry?
Oh, the tax. What was the actual tax?
What
fee?
was the actual figure?
Yeah. Well, you could always ask that, I suppose. But no, I'm just thinking, is Edge really difficult to work with because he's fiddling about with his tone all the time? You're not going to get straight on it.
I mean, technically, what Bono did, he didn't break the law. He just him and his accountant took advantage of a loophole. Because aren't they registered as a company like on one of the Canary Islands?
Yeah,
Like
so
that?
they
it's
are,
not
aren't they?
fair.
Yeah. Well, it's not fair.
It's dirty dealing.
As Whitney Houston once said, it's not right, but it's okay.
I don't remember this. You said it last week. This.
It's
didn't you?
not right, but it's okay.
I don't know the song.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, somebody will. You'll know. And they're laughing now. Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
No, they're not.
Mark is.
Oh, the smart kids are laughing.
No, Mark.
Oh, right, okay.
But smart kids are laughing, yes.
I've got something somewhere about
Smart kids.
smart kids.
kids. Oh, right, this will be interesting.
No, but no, I'll get to that later. What?
Well, I'll tell you what, bring that closer to you, because what happens is you get really close to that microphone.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. All right. Well, what about Cliff?
Cliff. Oh, Williams.
Cliff Richard.
Cliff Richard.
What about him?
Well, I know he's your favourite, Wayne and Louis.
Wired for Sound is
He's
a really good song.
releasing. He's releasing
A
a
Christmas
new
album.
album.
At Christmas. Don't tell
No, it's coming out any day now, and he's releasing a new album. But the first offering will be a single from that. It's from 1962. The Young Ones. He's done a new recording of The Young Ones, and he's done it in an orchestral manner, as is the flavour of the month this month. Everybody's doing an orchestral version of everything, aren't they? Well, Cliff is doing an orchestral version of
and making it sound Christmassy.
Who's Cliff, anyway?
Cliff Richard.
No, I mean Sir Cliff.
Sorry, Sir Cliff.
Sir Cliff Richard.
Yeah, Sir Cliff is doing an orchestral album of some of his hits.
Right.
Not all of his hits, obviously, because there's too many.
Which ones would you like to hear in an orchestral version?
What, by Cliff?
Yeah.
The last one, just as it's going off.
In fact, if I remember facts about your birthday week, at the week of your birth,
Yeah.
it was the number one hit record at the time was "Walking, Talking, Living Doll."
Living Doll. Well, that's sort of...
You can imagine that on a cello.
That's a trombone, isn't it?
Well, that's a trombone, yeah, but there's a cello as well.
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Going.
Right. I didn't realise at that bit there.
Well, that's that little hat they'll put over it.
No. But the funny thing is about this little story about Alan Partridge, Cliff Richard, is that what he's going to call the album?
Cliff's Greatest Hits.
No.
Between a cliff and a hard place.
No, no, it's going to go
Cliff Me Alone.
Cliff with Strings /
Puppet.
Puppet.
No,
Oh.
My Kind of Life.
Oh.
I think it sounds so Alan Partridge, that.
Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, My Kind of Life. From Norwich.
What would you call the Cliff Richard album?
Bad.
Crap.
Try again.
Very bad.
Yeah.
No,
Why
no. There's a lot of fans of Cliff out there. I would call it.
Shadow Cabinet.
No, I think I would call it difficult. My Kind of Life.
Yeah, my kind of.
I call it Nearly.
Nearly Cliff.
Nearly.
Why?
Well, that'll be name of the album.
Edge.
Nearly.
Cliff Edge.
Edgy Cliff. No, I don't. No, it's too cheesy for me. It's gone beyond pop. I know I was got a status within the UK music industry because of what he did when he was younger, but
Yeah, but didn't he get done for that?
no. But it just allegations will get you a lawyer.
I'm not alligating out.
Alligating. No,
Oh, he was playing in Shadows, weren't he?
yeah, I just think it was just extremely cheesy. But it obviously had a lot of life because he's continued to be popular. So a lot of people like it.
Like I've said before on this podcast, I'm a big fan of his calendars.
You are a big fan of his calendars,
They,
yeah.
they tell a story. I'd like to. Hopefully, this never happens. But when Cliff moves on to the other side, I'd like to buy the autobiography of him just from calendars, just to see how he's developed through the years. Every picture tells a story, as Rod Stewart once said.
They also described it as contemporary but classic.
Ooh.
It's again, Alan.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
contemporary but classic.
Yeah.
Well, it's neither, is it? It's not contemporary because they're from 1962.
No, but it's a reimagined which is making contemporary, right? But that and it's the old ones that make it classic. So contemporary classics.
Yeah.
That's what they should have called the album. Cliff, contemporary classics.
Yeah, but that sounds like you're describing him.
And he could sign copies away at like a GML stand. Along with like a super chamois.
Super chamois, what's that?
I don't know. It's
Or
something good though.
He
Isn't it?
couldn't do a weekend bike ride.
A weekend bike ride.
Would you
with
ride?
Cliff.
Would you ride your bike with Cliff?
No.
Yeah, I think I would.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'd ride a bike with Cliff just to see if he swears.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't
I think he does.
I think he knows words we don't even know.
I think he does.
Yeah, but they're not swear words.
I think they're like,
There's like Hebrew and stuff like that, won't there?
he's so aggressive. He probably swears with a knife in his mouth.
No, I think he's one of these people that you don't expect that swear, but he's blue. He's like Bernard Manning.
No.
Yeah.
Just can't imagine him, can you?
No, you can't. That's the thing.
No. Keeping on the topics of Cliff.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you got some hot topics there by Cliff.
Hot topics by Cliff, but a different Cliff.
All right, Cliff
This is
Burton.
Cliff Williams,
Don't know him.
the bass player from AC/DC. He's come out of retirement to do their new tour.
Okay.
And it'll be the first concert since September 2016.
Do you know, if my life had depended on it, I wouldn't have known that he played for AC/DC.
I wouldn't have known. No.
I've heard some of drummers' names because it news have been in trouble, put it mildly,
for things.
for things. But I've never heard anything about, I didn't know that Cliff, what was it called his name? Cliff Williams?
Cliff Williams.
No.
Yeah, he's come out of retirement.
Wow.
The
Okay,
touring.
when the touring?
I think it's either end of this year or the beginning of next.
They tend to do what they like to call a fall tour, don't they?
Mm.
Autumn, we call it.
Is that just like a short tour?
Yeah. And like autumn, break for Christmas, back in after Christmas, end of January, do another month. It depends. It could be one of these like tours that
Maybe they're expensive in the summer.
Guns N' Roses would have done. Yeah.
Like they're your premium slots. They're the expensive artists.
Yeah.
They do them in the summer, and then
Well,
they get
Guns
the
N' Roses
cheaper-
have just been on tour for about 5 years, haven't they?
Wonder if Brian can still do it.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting.
Speaking of coming out of retirement,
I'd watch that.
your mate Bruce Dickinson,
He's
got
retired.
he's got a new album.
Oh, right. Oh.
He's got a
Solo.
new solo album. He's not done a solo album since 2005.
Yeah.
He's come out and he's doing another one. It's called
Cliff.
Bruce. No, I don't know what it's called, but get ready.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, run to the hills.
With
Well, they're doing another tour anyway, aren't
anticipation.
they? Yeah, Iron Maiden. You don't realise. I know Wayne doesn't like Iron Maiden, and I like bits and pieces, but I'm not a big fan. But they are actually massive.
People love them.
Oh, they are, yeah.
On the arena
Yeah.
circuit, they're massive.
They've even got a beer, haven't they? What they call it,
They,
Trooper.
they didn't get much
Trooper.
airplay on radio
No.
because the material being used, because people weren't into listening to that. They didn't get any airplay on MTV when that were out. But yeah, they're still maintained to be huge and continue to be up to today. I don't know whether they're still getting the massive crowds they used to do. I'm sure they're still getting big crowds though.
I would have thought so.
They're not playing theatres, that is for sure. They'll still be playing arenas and football venues, won't they?
You
Sporting
would have thought
venues.
so. Would have thought so. But no.
Well, you'd know.
Oh, yeah, being a massive fan.
There we go. Got him on tape saying it. So, who has been fined? I think it's $1,400, and they have to do like the community service because of what they did at a gig to a camera woman.
To a camera woman.
Mm-hmm.
At their own gig, or was
At
it
their
like
own
a
gig.
Glastonbury type of gig?
It may have been a festival, but I think it was their own gig. She was filming the artist in mention.
Oh, I think I know something about this. Didn't they pour some beer over her or something?
No, the person in mention spat through his nose and then like spat on her again.
What, he blew his nose on her?
Yeah, I think the technical term is a snot rocket.
A snot rocket.
It's when a gentleman holds one side of the nose and then
The old
sneezes.
football move.
Yeah, snot rocket.
Yeah, they all do it at football, don't they?
Yeah,
Rather
there's
than
cycling as
rugby.
well.
Why did he do that? Did he have reason to do it?
Just because this person they mention it is a real bad lad in music.
An ass.
So do you know what it is? No,
No.
it's 54. Is that now right now?
54 cents.
It's 54, and you could say he's not the beautiful people.
It's Ugly Kid Joe.
Marilyn Manson.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson has been fined $1,400, and he has to do community service, and he's doing it in California. And in the state of California, he's also got to alert the local police for the next 2 years when he's going to do a gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case he does it again.
I don't know, but yeah, he decided he was going to spit and snot rocket on a camera woman.
Well, he deserves a bigger fine than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
that's horrendous.
Bad
that,
show.
isn't it?
bad show.
Bad show. in my
That's not even. It's not even funny. Though.
No, it's.
No.
I've never really understood the appeal of him, but that's what's happened recently.
Well, whether you like his music and all, that's by the by, isn't it? It's just a bad thing to do to somebody that's filming him. At the end of the day, she's making him look good.
But punk shooters, Sex Pistols, used to spit into the crowd, didn't they?
Well, they did. They did. What about this one then? At a concert recently. At an Adele concert.
Adele snot rocketed into the crowd.
She snot rocketed into a crowd. You just imagine that, can't you? Excuse me, darlings.
Rumor has it.
No, apparently. Now, these tickets in Las Vegas are not cheap.
No, very expensive.
They are not cheap. So she comes on stage, she starts the concert off. Straight away, this bloke stands up, starts singing.
Oh, the guy with this camera stick.
And he's singing to every word, to every song. And people sat down and people say, "Well, we can't see. We paid a lot for this." Whoa. Yeah. Security guards come up and says, "Come on, you're going to have to..." But he's filming himself with selfie stick. Filming himself singing at an Adele concert.
Well, he's got a 360 camera, so he's filming everything.
Well, he's filming everything then. But, I mean, I just can't get my head around that. I've seen footage of it.
Yeah, a lot of people film at gigs, don't they? That's a thing. Now, she defends
film
him.
yourself. Yeah, I know she did. She said that she stopped the concert because she could see there was something was going off. And she says, "What's the matter, darling?" And
I thought she was here then.
Well, you would do, wouldn't you?
She's just waiting outside. She's coming in a minute.
Yeah. And so she no, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Hope you enjoy the concert, darling. And then they carried on. I just thought, all right, I get her point. Right. You know, let him do what he wants to do. But what about our other paying guest that can't see because he's been...
Yeah, I know it was a bit like... It was. I mean, he was getting really into it, and he's got a little 360 stick, and he's filming it all like everyone does on the phone anyway. But he's got a stick anyway. I think the thing what was bothering people behind him is that he was stood up dancing, where the other people behind him were sat down. It's a music gig. Like, I feel weird if you sit down here. Like, they didn't want to stand up. They should just stand up.
Juan Licitra, they called him.
At what point? Like, it's fine for people at the front to stand up because a lot of them everybody else at the front was stood up and clapping and all sorts of stuff. At what point is there a cut-off point where, oh, no, you can't stand up? I can understand it's annoying.
When you become a distraction or annoyance to other paying customers, I think.
Well, why can't they stand up?
Well, they don't want to.
They want
to sit down.
But
and everybody in that area were all seated. And he was just doing what he was doing and blocking everybody else's view. Now, I just think that's wrong.
I mean,
if you wanted to do it, go to bike and do it out of the way.
Yeah.
You know, like when because you're quite tall, 6'3". So if you're stood in a concert somewhere, you get quite self-conscious that your people behind you can't see.
Especially when they're sat down.
So you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't think it's a black and white thing, but I do feel self-conscious, especially standing in like a pit where I feel sorry for girls who are small. because they ain't got a chance.
No.
And if they've got a boyfriend who's tall, no one's winning.
They should put on the shoulders.
And you can't do that. It's frowned upon.
Really?
Yeah, because you're blocking more people.
What? Who's going to be 9 foot?
Wait, if you're 5 foot and you stood behind me and I've got somebody on my shoulders,
What are you going to see? Well, it comes back
Well,
to
you're
my
not going to see
point.
anybody anyway.
It's a bit
I'm
unfair
5.
on the people behind you.
You go like that.
But you can't do that. You've got your chair. Why should you lean across the person next to you? Or this side, lean across that person that's sat next to you.
Oh, yeah, I
Pay
understand that.
$2,000 plus to sit and watch Adele.
Is that what they're going at?
Yeah, well, they don't want to pay. They don't want to watch him, do they? Or hear him at least.
Yeah.
I know everybody sits there and says, la 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 la. Well, you know, they're not the words, obviously.
I'm going to say I don't know that song.
No. Did Adele do that?
Sorry,
Did Adele do that one?
Ooh la la.
I think that
La,
was
la, la.
B-side, so she dropped.
Oh,
that.
right. Oh.
But I think it would have missed for her to sort of allow him. What I know.
Yeah.
All right, what could she say? Get out. She's not going to do that, is she?
To be fair, I don't know. You could have stood to the
It's
side.
a tricky one, and I really brought it up because I wanted your opinions on it. You're in favour of it, sounds like.
I'm not necessarily in favour of him. I'm just not in favour of like sitting down at a music gig. Now, unless it's like the prom, or something like that. But Adele's not doing like Adele does songs that you dance to, as well as like love songs and stuff like that. So I don't think you should be sat down at an Adele concert.
I don't
I
know.
think it's just a bit weird.
They're all. When I saw the footage, they all were dressed up to nines.
Yeah, but sorry to interrupt. Here's the thing though. So like, right at it. So it wasn't a flat. It wasn't a flat seating area.
No,
it was a sloped seating area.
It's
So
an amphitheatre type setting. Yeah,
So at an arena, people stand up at the back on the chairs.
yeah.
They stand up and everyone's up. So if you imagine, let's imagine like a Beyonce concert. I don't imagine on the chairs they're all sat down. But what's the difference?
Because I can't see that many people dancing at an Adele concert compared to a Beyonce concert, though.
I think you'll be surprised. They're not all love songs.
Yeah, but they're not all dancey where Beyonce's are, aren't they? So you're expecting.
And he's shouting and belting it out, singing as loud as he can.
Yeah.
No, it's not like it's just la 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 in it.
It would annoy you.
It would. I've paid all this. I've come all this way.
Yeah. You want to hear her.
And this is waving his selfie stick about. And I can't hear or see what's going off. I'm just not happy.
Yeah. I think you get annoyed with that.
Wow. Yeah.
I know what you're saying because you like to go to concerts and stand up. This is not that type of concert.
Mm.
This is a Las Vegas casino, comfy seats, you know.
£2,000 a ticket.
Have a nap. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I guess there's no right answer
Or wrong answer.
or wrong answer.
There's mine.
And there's Wayne's and there's mine.
And they're all different.
They're all different.
That we do appear to be all different. Although you seem to be swaying slightly on the,
Yeah.
You won't be happy.
No.
I see what you mean, though. I'd be annoyed, but I don't.
I'd probably be I'd be more annoyed with him that I couldn't hear her rather than I couldn't see her.
I don't think he was louder than Adele, was he? But
Well,
I think
it would have been fairer on Adele if she'd said to security, just bring him down to the front and let him have all that area at front there.
How's that fair? Because people are paying a lot more to get to the
At
front.
least they can see and hear.
I think what they should have done is if someone stands in front of me, like, oh, well, let's stand up then so we can all see. And then I stand up and the person behind me stands up.
What
and
if
then
it's your mother?
well, she has to stand up.
She can't.
Of course she can.
Not for a 2-hour show.
Well, 10 minutes, sit back down.
No. Denied.
Then we wheel her out. Well, stick her in,
Stick her in
Aisle.
corner somewhere.
Sticking it high up.
facing wall. So listen, close your
I've
eyes.
paid all this money. No.
For your mum to face wall.
Yeah.
Denied.
Speaking of live gigs,
Right.
and previously on this episode, on this podcast, we've spoken about virtual reality and AI and the future of
AI.
music. Robbie Williams is going to be doing a concert in the metaverse, brackets Web3. So that's what metaverse is, it's Web3.
Yeah.
And it's going to be part of this Hong Kong AI sort of technology day, and it's I can't remember what it's called. It's there's a certain platform that's it's called, but I can't remember it. But that's not important. But he's going to do a concert where you can pay and log in and watch a virtual augmented sort of like concert.
Is that what you were on about?
Yeah, like a pay-per-view channel, won't we?
But this is in a digital world.
That'd be
This is
interesting.
what?
This is in a digital world. So this sort of thing's happened before with a game called Fortnite, where you've had Ariana Grande and excuse me, another rapper, and some other artists have done it. And they profile themselves in the game, so you can go to a certain point in the game and you can watch a performance of a song.
Right.
Now these have been like 3D scanned in, where they've been performing in front of a, you know, where there's dots all over them, and they do that, and it's input into the game. This is something similar, but he's going to be doing a concert specifically in virtual reality Web3. It's interesting.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
it is. Where if he's going to have one of them, it's like a sports enhancement thing, isn't it, that monitors your moves and your all this and other. If he's going to be doing that with all that gear on him, where will he actually be?
Well, I don't actually.
Is he doing a concert wearing that?
No, I don't know. I don't know if he'll even be wearing the suit with the dots on. I don't know if they require that anymore, because they have these things with loads of cameras around where they can just basically scan you in and remove the background. So it could be him and his band on a stage, on a green screen stage, or it could
Behind closed
could
doors.
be like how you would record a music video,
Right.
and it would be all edited together that way, and you'd be watching like a show of pre-edited sort of
So,
thing.
yeah. So he'll be doing it behind closed doors type of thing.
I assume so.
Will it be green screen then?
Well, it'd be a way of like you could remove the background, or they'll input like a digital stage that is on,
Yeah.
and then it could be where you could pick where you want to sit. You know, it could be an actual concert like that, where you could move right to the front if you wanted to, or you can move further back. And
Do you
everything
like
would
that
change.
concept?
Yeah,
I find it
do.
very interesting. I
I find it interesting.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I don't think it's my preferred way of watching it, but if it was like £3 or something like that, I'd be like, you can watch a Robbie Williams concert, and maybe it's live. I'm not sure. It's probably live rather than pre-recorded. I'd be interested, and
I'm
think,
interested in the technical aspect of it all.
I think that's going to be the future of how people are going to gain access to this. Because currently, if you think of it this way, and you think of like environmental impact, so Billie Eilish has just finished a like 4 or 3 year tour, world tour, and Harry Styles has finished a similar one. Then they've been traveling around the world for a few years, right, doing this big tour, driving all the equipment around, big carbon footprint, just so they can get to people. Now, there's nothing like seeing someone like with your eyeballs,
Yeah.
but they could do 10 gigs and everyone could log in. You know, you could watch the whole tour for minimal cost, and they could enjoy the music. And it could be like.
But I'm going to refer back to your previous statement, my lad, when you were saying you like to stand up at a concert,
Yeah.
but that's not even standing up. That's just-
No, I'm not saying it's just that. I think it should be probably a balance. I think it might also combat the prices of concert tickets. So some people like Wayne, who doesn't necessarily like live music apart from when he's there in person. They might just want to be there. They might just want to like, let's watch the gig. Like they might not want the stress of getting to Manchester, getting a room, navigating the way around.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. So
How's the band's going to get paid for this?
will they get paid by how many people enter to watch the gig?
Subscription.
So they'll get a percentage of whatever comes through.
I think it's a great idea.
Same fee, smaller fee, less money.
I
less
imagine
return?
it'd be less.
More will go to the people that's generating it.
Well, I imagine.
So they're not going to be happy.
Well, it'll be like streaming, so you can have endless amount of people listen to the same album at the same time. So
Yeah.
if you pay £4 or £3 or whatever it is per person to watch this live,
Don't forget, potentially, instead of being like, say, 20,000 people in a stadium, there could be 5 million people all watching it at once.
I get it, Wayne. It's just I'm just concerned. My
think
main
it's a
concern
great-
is
I think it's a
for the
great
artists,
idea.
really.
it's just an option.
How are they? No, I think it's got to come. It's got to come.
I think it'll come whether
I
we
think
like it or not.
Yeah, there's no option about it. It's the way that the world's going.
Yeah.
But my concern is that the only way that bands can earn money, as we've said many times, and it's becoming a little bit of a stale statement now, that they can only gain money by touring.
Mm.
And if now that facility is being taken away from them, and they're just going to get a cut of this streaming facility, I think the lion's share will go to the people that's going to be producing it, and they'll just get a 2% cut. And then I think they'll get less than what they did if they went on a world tour.
Well, they might not, but I suppose that's down to them to negotiate, isn't it, and say, well, you either give me 60% of profits,
A lot of bands haven't got that clout, Wayne.
or I don't do it.
A lot of bands haven't got that clout.
I disagree, because I think that there's going to be a lot of competition in these production. Like it could be a small team that could produce this live gig, which is streamed, and there'll be so many tech people who can be competitive with it, rather than like introducing logistics and where's everyone going to stay and there's food involved like that.
You got the likes of Beyonce that are still charging X amount of pounds, and they're raking in all that money that they're raking in. They're not using the clout that they've got already to say, no, you're charging too much, reduce these rates, or I'm not playing at your place. They're not doing that now, so they're not going to get the option later, are they? They'll be able to say, Beyonce will be able to say, right, I want 250 million for you showing my next 10 gigs. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there's not a lot of people that can demand
But a
that.
little band from Leeds can't say that.
No.
No, but what they can do is that they can take a percentage of each person that enters that gig. So if the gig costs you £5,
Oh yeah,
I'm going up a pound every time I say it.
What I'm saying is that percentage that they'll get will be greatly reduced.
Well, like if there's enough competition for people that could air that gig, there's no reason why it should be too.
They're not going to put it out for tender. It's going to be, you'll get this or else we don't do the show.
I don't know. So if you think about like if a university band is just getting a gig at a club, and the promoters say, okay, well, the more people that you can bring in, the more money you get, and you'll get £1 out of every 3 or whatever. Yeah.
It sounds like I'm being very negative about the idea.
No, but
I'm
that's
not.
what
I think
they
it's
do,
a good
isn't it?
idea.
So then what would artists do? Up and coming artists, they will gain they will drive more followers on their social media accounts to go and watch their gig. So they'll build up the fan base on social media outlets to drive them to watch their virtual reality gig.
If they're not doing that now, they're not in the game, are they? Because that's what you've got to do now.
That's where it's going to go. So that's going to be their way of making money, rather than them going on the road, which should be really expensive. And maybe when they get to a certain level, maybe touring will just become something that's really, really expensive. It's just for like these world tours, it's just for the elite artists that have got millions behind them. And then you'll get smaller artists that can just do autumn touring, where they'll just do one gig in a country. Especially like with the UK and the Brexit ruling, where if you want to go into Europe to do a gig, you have to get a visa for each country that you go into, and it makes it very difficult to tour.
It's not only that, is it? They've got to get licenses for this and other.
Oh yeah, it's really made it nearly impossible. But so it'll.
Oh, whereabouts are we with this concept? I mean, is it like theoretical 5, 6, 7 years down the line?
No,
or
it's
is it like
happened.
we're talking like next year?
No, it's now. It's happened. I think this news, what I've told you about Robbie Williams, is old. I think he did it on or maybe no. I think he's doing it on the 27th in Hong Kong.
Right.
What, of this month?
Yeah. So it's a real
So it's
thing.
like, what, next weekendish?
Yeah.
Would you pay to see Robbie Williams on your screening here?
How much for £4 or £5? Yeah.
And you could have it as
I don't think you're going to get it for that.
No, I don't think it's going to create it. And you could watch it on a headset, so you could be in the room.
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I'd be that interested
to see the technology,
just to see it and witness it and just experience it and just.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah.
I wonder why they've
I
chosen him as like the crash test dummy.
I don't know. I mean, he's not the first person to do this, so I don't think it's a crash test dummy. But I suspect that what Robbie Williams is, he appeals to a demographic, and it might be an interesting way to harbour research about how certain people find it from a different generation. So the kids are going to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm well into this, blah blah." But
Do you know what will annoy me about this though?
what?
And I fully expect to be putting my headset on next year and watching a gig somewhere because I think that's the way it's going to go. But what I'm dreading is it'll be the commercials that will be tagged to it.
Well,
I
Because
like.
they will, won't they?
Oh yeah.
yeah, they will.
They're
But
gonna drive it through advertising.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll just have like commercial breaks of the gig. I think they'll be planted around the arena or the space that you're in.
Product placements all over the place.
But that's what you get in rugby. That's what you get in
Well,
football.
you do.
So
you do. But they're sponsors. They don't stop the game because of it.
or maybe
Like American football.
Yeah.
like when you
commercial
watch a
every
film,
2
That's the reason
minutes.
it's in 4 quarters.
Yeah.
maybe that like when you watch a film, or the production thing comes involved, but maybe it'll be at the front. So you get your adverts to begin with. It could be like at the cinema where you get all these adverts, like you get 20 minutes of adverts on a cinema. It could be like that. So you got 20 minutes of watching these adverts and like just nonsense bits, and then the show begins.
And then we're
I
going to
could deal with that.
We're going to go to our sponsors, which are X-Lax. Hemorrhoid applicators.
Well, if I like that, that'd be humorous.
Well,
Catapult that
the
hemorrhoid.
windjammer method. Send today for the size of the cork you require.
Keep your glass smear free with this.
Cliff Richards, JML, chamois leather.
You're going to get all that. You're
Buy
gonna
a
get all
chamois
that.
and get his free new album.
Yeah.
Now that's what I call Cliff.
No, you're going to get all that. And that's the downside of it. But it all comes down to economics, doesn't it?
That's the downside of TV. I bet people were at
Yeah.
uproar when there was like, what, they're going to televise gigs? Who's going to watch that? I will not watch that televised
nonsense.
garbage.
That'll never catch on.
No, it didn't really, did it?
No.
No. People selling what? Instant potato?
What's an instant potato?
Smash.
I've never seen an instant.
Oh, smash, right.
Scared. Smash. Or something like that, wasn't it? Wasn't it that? Them little tin robot things, weren't they?
Yeah.
If I remember rightly.
Powdered
did.
potato.
First thing you thought on.
Yeah. I did, actually.
And the theme tune.
Yeah. I don't know the theme tune.
No, I've got.
I have a news, not a news story, but I have an anecdote. Something that I heard.
You've got to watch that.
I've got an anecdote. It's not a news story, but it's something I heard about Billy.
Eilish?
Billy
Islet? Connolly?
Billy
Fury?
Idol. Billy Idol.
Okay.
The Thailand military had to remove him from Thailand.
Oh, why?
Well, let me take you back. So back in the day when he was big, he split up from his girlfriend or fiance or whatever, and he was a bit down about it. And him and his mate went off to Thailand on a big bender, right?
All right.
But then it got to a point where alcohol really weren't cutting it anymore. So they fell into a pit of drugs. And the drugs brought out the nasty side of the rebel yell.
Yeah.
And him and his mate started smashing up hotel rooms. And it built up a bill of like £20,000. So Thailand had to bring in the military and they escorted him off.
The
And he's-
military?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not...
They're quite keen on drug movement, aren't they?
What?
You know, they don't like people bringing it in and trying to sell it and things like that.
I don't think any country is.
They like
Well,
you to-
no, they're very...
they
You
like-
try getting
They
from,
like you to buy
Dover.
it there.
You don't want to get locked up in a Thai jail.
You use our own product.
Believe me. For being a mule.
You don't want to be a mule in Thailand.
You don't. You end up in a curry.
Don't do pantomime in Thailand.
But strangely enough, I've got another story about concerts and police and wrecking things. It were Motorhead. It was just at the beginning of their career. They just had some initial success and they got this gig out in Helsinki. So they goes out to Helsinki and they plays this gig and they had a real good time. You know what Motorhead's like. They got shandies out and had a couple of sherbets and they were happy. They're happy after the gig. So they wrecked the dressing room and damaged a lot at stage. And the promoter wasn't very happy. So he phoned the police and the police came along and they arrested him. Threw him in jail for 3 days. 3 days. Motorhead languished in a Helsinki prison cell. Eventually, they let him out, get back on your return flight and go. So they did. They get on plane, they're seated on plane, and this bloke's walking down aisle. It's the pilot, and he's not happy. And he marches straight up to him and says, "You lot are a disgrace to society. If you think you're going to mess about on my plane, you've got another thing coming. I will not tolerate any bad behaviour on my plane. Any messing about, and you're going to have police waiting for you when we get back to Heathrow.
No naughty boys.
Understood?" So Lemmy says, "Okay." No, he didn't. I can imagine what Lemmy said. So the flight continues. The only bad thing that happened was Fast Eddie Clark spilled his vodka and orange down the neck of a woman who sat in front of him.
Easy done.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Turbulence.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Turbulence.
Well, he could have claimed that.
Yeah.
He could have claimed that. So they're a bit worried about this because she weren't happy. They land at Heathrow, and as I look out that window, what's waiting on tarmac?
A cat.
No.
Nope.
Police.
Bloody sting.
Police. So they thought, oh, God, we're in for it now. This is it. But luckily, they'd not come to arrest them. They'd come to arrest the pilot because he were drunk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
what a twist of fate that one is.
How did they know he was drunk?
He must have been reported by one of the staff.
Wow.
But apparently the pilot was drunk, so the police were waiting to arrest him, not Motorhead. And they saw it as poetic justice, really.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know, would you? Because you never see them, do you? Because they're always last
Why
off
are we
plane.
doing loop de loop? Why is he sporadically doing the
Well,
nosedive?
but do we need to do a Victor roll?
But you don't know, do you? If he's flying that plane pissed and you're sat,
You can't tell, can you?
you can't tell. You've no idea. He might be asleep. He might be asleep all the way there. Autopilot. That big blow up thing comes up out of airplane.
Can you fly this plane?
Coming in hot.
And
You're the only chance we've got.
and he flies plane. And real pilot is getting it one of them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
No.
Because he's always last off plane. And that's because I reckon stewardess have to wake him up.
It turned into a
It's like
conspiracy.
it's the captain. He's the last to leave, isn't he? That goes down with the ship.
Yeah.
So
Hello?
hold on. So if
Are you awake? They've gone.
in that respect, when the plane's about to hit the ground, the captain gets out of the cockpit and runs to the back of the plane, so it's the last one.
Yeah. Save yourself.
I'm the captain. I must get to the back. Yeah.
But I just thought it would. I bet they were thinking, oh, another 3 days in jail or wherever, a fine, or all that Helsinki gig were a waste of time because we're not going to get any money out of it now. And yet, they don't come for them. They don't come for them. I bet
You can just imagine Lemmy though sat there thinking,
so what? That's it?
I bet he won't bothered.
No, not really. No, if you were a force of nature, weren't
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have been bothered.
you? Yeah.
Any more news?
Well,
I've got a bit.
go on then.
Go on then.
So, do you remember an actor who ruined his career at the Oscars? I think his name was Will Smith.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are so.
No, sorry. Is it Will Slappersmith?
Will Slapper Smith.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So, you know your career is going well when you start a podcast. Awkward. He started a podcast,
Oh
and it's
my
called something like the 88 Club or something like that. It's about hip hop in 1988, and he's talking to like Queen Latifah and the remaining members of Run DMC. But Will Smith has now started a podcast. So
I thought
from winning an Oscar for
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I thought the idea of doing a podcast is talk about stuff that you know.
Will Smith knows hip hop.
Irony.
Oh,
Oh, God, that were hard. That would have lost on you.
I guess it's just the deliverance.
I'm sorry.
I was going to do it. There we go. Yeah, so the roles, I'm assuming, just aren't coming in because he's doing a podcast. Not that there's anything wrong with the podcast. I mean, because we're obviously legends at it. But not, Will Smith can't expect to get to the dizzy heights that we're at.
No,
No,
absolutely
because
not.
we don't know what we're talking about either.
No.
I mean, I've got to the point where my black bin gets collected twice a month.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Oh well, that's cutting edge news.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I've got a special because my black bin has a pink lid.
Yeah. Well, don't let FBI get into contents of your black bin.
No, I won't. I try and keep it. I try and keep it hidden away at all times.
still talking about bins, right?
Yes.
Okay,
All
right.
Yeah. What else would we be talking about?
Well,
So yeah, Will Smith's doing a podcast.
Mm.
wow. Are you going to be giving it a listen?
Probably not. Oh, actually, no. I might
I
do.
don't know. He's
Just out of
getting
curiosity.
it enough plugs.
Just out of curiosity.
Oh, are you a guest?
Yes, I'm a guest. I was big in the 80s with hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, so was Wayne.
I'm always big.
We were, actually, me and Wayne, they were called as Big as Small. He was, guess which one I was?
A Boom was the first album. Which British musical artist has had a 6-month driving ban?
Oh, music.
Mm-hmm.
6 months driving ban. I'm going to say,
Mick Jagger.
Nope.
you're going to have to thin it down a bit, this. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
All right,
it could be
Britpop.
anybody.
Britpop.
Britpop.
From Manchester.
It's not one of Gallagher's, is it?
Gallagher's.
Noel Gallagher has received a 6-month driving ban because of unpaid speeding fines.
Right.
Now, the twist is,
You don't drive.
Noel Gallagher doesn't hold a driving license,
Oh, right.
but he owns the car and he's registered for the user of this car and he has a chauffeur. So the chauffeur has been speeding or whatever, and Noel Gallagher's claimed that he's not received these fines. So, but he's had to pay a fine, a grand total of fine, and he's received a ban of
So
driving.
he's got a ban
So this
for
car,
to do something that he doesn't do anyway.
yeah, I don't quite understand it,
And can't do.
but he's
No.
taking full
How
responsibility.
does he serve his ban if he can't drive?
He don't. 'Cause he don't
Sorry,
drive.
it's not speeding; it's unpaid.
Singing, you meant. You
fines.
meant singing.
No, it's not
it's a
speeding. It's unpaid parking fines or something like
Oh, right, okay.
that. Yeah,
You meant
So
singing fines, didn't you?
singing fines.
Into his chauffeur. that's
Well, if he's
liable.
asking him, I think if Noel Gallagher's got sole responsibility of this car, so he owns the car and it's registered under his name.
The fine goes to the registered owner.
Yeah,
So-
but can't you? Isn't there something on it that says, "Are you the driver? Was you the driver of this vehicle on such and
Well,
such a date?"
no, if it's a parking fine, it don't matter.
yeah, so and plus it'd be really crap. It'd be a nasty thing to do for Noel if he was to say, "Well, it's not me, it's the chauffeur. Fine him, ban him." But it's not going to affect Noel if he doesn't drive for 6 months because he can't drive.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But that's the type of thing that he'd do, wouldn't it? I think he'd shop his chauffeur in me.
But
It's
you
not
don't,
me.
but you,
It's not
you
me,
don't
it's
like the
him.
Gallagher's there.
No, I ain't got
No.
time for
did
it.
you not go for a bike ride with them?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Would you not go for a bike ride with them? I think
No,
I would.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You and Liam Gallagher
No.
around Richmond Park on a tandem.
no.
Him and his 6 toes.
It would-
his dodgy
I,
hip.
I don't know which one would be more interesting, to be honest.
None of them. They're not interested in whatsoever.
And I don't mean like I'm going to learn anything. I don't know. It would just be interesting to get.
No, that's not fair. They're interesting people. and they're
Yeah,
quite
I think
knowledgeable.
it would be an interesting experience to find out what they are really like
I don't think you'd know.
away from the camera.
I don't
Liam
think-
Gallagher does a very good Oliver Reed impression.
Well, yeah. Well, I can do that.
I think you'd go on bike ride with
Give me
them.
enough beer and I could do that.
You go on bike ride with them and you wouldn't learn anything.
I don't think that's
Well,
true.
Because I think they're that arrogant and stuck up their
No,
own arse.
it's not the
that
90s anymore.
I just don't think they'd be willing to.
No, I think I'd do that. Yeah, I'd go on a bike ride. I think this could be a new feature of ours. Who would you go on a bike ride with?
We will. We'll have
Who
one.
would you go on a bike ride with? Celine Dion? No.
Where do you think Celine Dion would like to go on a bike ride?
Where?
Yeah, where would you take if you had a tandem and you go, okay, you've got an hour with Miss Celine Dion. Wait, but
This
you,
is,
where are
this
you going
is
to take
becoming a
her?
very cheap version of
Where are you gonna take
that
Celine
car
Dion?
drive thing, innit?
Yeah.
Where are you going to take Celine Dion on a tandem bicycle?
Clifton Park.
Somewhere flat.
That's a good answer. Somewhere flat.
Yeah. Canal track.
All right, 5 ways in Sheffield.
Grisby Dam.
No, take her on.
Grisby Dam.
Running track at the nearest athletics circuit. That'd be the easiest way of doing it.
Morrison's car park, circular. And you got a 5 bag of sausage rolls and we share them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But
I'm liking that.
but
'Cause I think Morrison's do the best sausage rolls.
who has the spare one?
Well, you know, the man.
And wait a minute. I'm expanding on this now because I think the guest ought to bring a flask of coffee. I think that'd be cool.
They have to bring a condiment.
A condiment.
And
One lump or two.
whoever brings piccalilli just automatically loses.
Yeah.
I think
Why-
that's all right. Though.
Why would you eat piccalilli? What's wrong with you?
What?
Why would you eat piccalilli? What's wrong with you?
You haven't got time for piccalilli, have you?
Who the hell?
Wayne's not got time for that.
I ain't got time for piccalilli.
No, yeah. No, I think somewhere out there in TV land, you want to take up on this one. It would be a real winner.
A real winner. Michael Jackson, bring him back.
No, I think no, he wouldn't have worked.
No?
No, he won't meet his fellow musicians, so he would never work with a random stranger. Would he?
That's true.
Yeah.
I'd go on a bike ride with Jacko.
Of course you would.
Now that would
Pervert.
be interesting.
What would you learn?
Yeah, what would you learn, Wayne?
Well, you could
Careful what you say. Yes.
Yeah.
There's still lawsuits.
I'm not going to say anything like that.
How's your monkey?
You just want to hear him go over a speed bump and go, check tomorrow.
Oh!
I think we're heading down a slippery path, and I think we should probably close this episode up.
Just before we do close this, though, can I leave you with a thought?
Go on then.
So, did you know that Axl Rose is an anagram of oral sex? Good night.
Oh, wait. You've opened a can of worms here. Because now you've mentioned Axl Rose, I need to mention Slash. I've got some news about Slash.
Oh, go on then.
Go on then.
Maybe we're not closing on that one.
We're not going to... It's your own fault.
See, if it'd be the other way around, what would it be closing?
Yeah.
Right.
And good night.
Good night. Barbie movie.
Oh, yeah. He's done music for Anti-Slash.
He played guitar on I'm Just Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he did, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got some.
Good night.
There you go. I know that.
Go on.
So, the new Guns N' Roses track. I will listen to it.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I haven't listened to it. It doesn't think a lot.
I'm still not sure yet.
What, are you going to allow it to grow, or
Yeah.
you just think it's like you
No.
want to like it, but you're not? You don't think you do?
Yeah, I didn't instantly like it, but I'm going to get enough,
Another 2 or 3 years.
another couple of listens.
What do you think?
Initially, I thought, yeah, okay, it's not that bad. There's not a lot to it. It's
no,
just
I was expecting more.
what I found extremely odd about it is that there's no
Cliff Richard.
discernible guitar solos.
Ah.
Considering
No,
you've got
but-
Slash there,
Yeah,
there's no big solo in it.
no.
It's all Axl. It's almost like it was an Axl Rose solo project. I've got this track, boys. We're going to play this track. This is going to be the new track off the new album.
Yeah, from Chinese Democracy.
You were on it at the time when I recorded it, but just smile and look like you're happy.
Yeah, play along.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them. If you
Yeah.
listen to it again
Yeah.
and think, hold on, where's guitar part? Yeah, you'll hear it in background, but there's no big solo.
Does
No,
it need
there's
a
no
big
big
solo?
solo in it,
Does it
no.
need a big solo?
Sorry?
Does it need a big solo?
It's
for it
Slash.
It needs.
I know, but like,
It needs some guitar work, and after all this time of having no new material, and this technically is not new. After all this time, they brought this new single out, preempting the new album, and the biggest selling point is Slash and his guitar.
but my point is,
There's not
what
many
I'm trying-
GNR tracks
Well, it doesn't have a solo on.
that don't have a big guitar or
But
a guitar solo in it.
what
Not
I'm saying is,
necessarily
like
big,
with the
but-
Barbie film, why get Slash to play the rhythm on the Barbie song without a solo, right? Is it because he's good at choosing a rhythm things to play? He's good at working on tracks that aren't necessarily about solos? Maybe he doesn't necessarily want to just be doing solos. Maybe he wants to put
I
more
get
work in
that
his
in
rhythm.
that project.
Because it still it's
I
still
get that in that project, but in a Guns N' Roses project,
maybe
I don't get
maybe
it.
he doesn't
No, I
want to
don't.
just, because if you think about his live sets, it'll be shredding every song.
That's what that's
Well,
supposed to be Guns N' Roses.
I'm just trying to think of why they might have not done it.
Because Axl said, or oral sex, as we now know him as, Axl, oral sex says no.
That's a good one, and I like that anagram and story. And what we'll do is we'll finish on that one, shall we?
Bye.
Sexual.
Good night.